I don't hear that fuel pump turning on at all. Good morning, my YouTube family. Welcome back to the channel. This is something we've been waiting for a very long time on the channel now. So ever since I announced that I was gonna do a big turbo build on the Evo, I feel like it's been the main thing that everyone's been wanting to see, and it's finally here. If you guys aren't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is gonna be I'm hoping it's gonna be a very high horsepower build. I'm shooting for around 500 horsepower at the wheels, and I think it's very easily obtainable. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. So what I'm gonna be working on today, I want to get the ETS logo sprayed onto the intercooler because it doesn't have one. Another thing is I need to get a dyno day set up with English Racing. So English is gonna be my tuner. They're down in like Portland, Oregon area, or somewhere down in that region. I think they're on the Washington side of the border actually. So I need to get that dyno day set up, and then I think after that we're gonna start the fuel system install. It's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do is the fuel pump and the injectors. I'm in the process of building my Evo 10. I need to set up a dyno day with you guys, and then I wanted to go over the build, make sure there's nothing else I need. Yeah, they're 1100s. It'll be open source. So today was a bit of an interesting day, especially at the beginning. I called up English Racing to get my dyno day set up. The official dyno day I have is July 10th at 8 in the morning, so I'm gonna have to leave Spokane either the night before or super early on July 10th. I had one major question about spark plugs. Do I need to go with the one-step color plug? I'm running a 6266.
You just want to run the NGK plug. That's the DILKR 8B6. That's the plug number.
8B6. Yeah, let's just do the one on the 10th for 8 a.m. I'll leave early in the morning. Will do. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye. After I got the dyno day set up, they had me go onto their website and fill out a little online form. Just basic questions like what injector or what size injectors I'm running, what MAF I'm going to be using, turbo size, all that fun stuff, just so they can get me the base map over. And that was all super easy to do. I know the first time that I could talk to English back before I started the build, the original guy I talked to was a major dick. But this second guy, as you guys just heard on the phone, he was super nice, super cool, super helpful. So that kind of made me have a better feeling about English as a whole, I guess. From there, I went on to print out the ETS stencil from my ETS intercooler, and the one I printed out online, I spent like an hour cutting it out, set up on my intercooler, and it was way too big. Like it was hanging over the edge about 2 or 3 inches. So we went back online, and before I printed the second one out, I downscaled it 60%, so I brought it down like 40%. And then I printed that one out, got it cut out, and that one fit the intercooler. It still hung over a tiny bit, but I didn't mind. Got it taped up on the intercooler and then sprayed it with just some rattle can paint. I think that's what ETS does anyway, right from the factory, so I think it'll hold up fine. And I have the ETS stencil if I ever need to do it again. I'll just slap it on the intercooler, throw a quick layer of paint on there, and be good to go. So as you just heard, we got the dyno day set up. It's for July 10th, so it's a ways away. But that just gives me time to get everything installed and go work out all the kinks. They're gonna mail me over a base map so I can still drive the car after it's all done. It's not gonna be fast until I physically drive the car down, get it on the dyno, and have them tune it. I'd rather have more time than not enough time. I don't want to rush this build at all, because I feel like stuff would just start going wrong if we did that. So I'm very glad I have enough time. One thing I gotta say before we run down to the shop and start this fuel system install is I'm very thankful to be in the position I'm in to be able to show you guys this full turbo build. It's absolutely insane. This channel it's doing really well these days, and I just want to thank you guys for that. So once again, thank you so much for all the love, all the support. I feel like I say that a lot, but I just want you guys to know, like, I'm so grateful for all the views, all the subscribers. You guys are like a family to me, and it's super dope. When I'm talking to the camera, I feel like I'm talking to a family. It's just not like, yeah, I'm holding a camera physically, but I feel like there's so many people behind the screens, and I truly feel like it's becoming a family, and it's fucking awesome. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. As always, if you enjoy these videos at all, just hit that thumbs up button down below. If you really enjoy them and you want to get the word out about the channel, feel free to share the videos. That would be super awesome. What I'm actually gonna do is take the FRS out of the shop. I'm gonna throw it up in the garage because I need a solid space to work on the Evo for the next week or so. Probably a week and a half. It's gonna be a bit before I get this build done. So freaking low to get in. I have some sort of little leak in my tank, so my car sits for a very long time. The tank leaks a bunch of pressure out of it, but I need to get that fixed. Actually, I can't leave it here aired up. That ain't cool. fuck yeah, she looks pretty sick sitting in here. I really want to do a 2018 front end, or if the 2019 BRZ has a different front end and I like it, I'll just do that front end. I actually raced the Evo against a Yamaha R6. It was actually yesterday. It'll be a while before it goes up, just because I always spend a decent amount of time editing these race videos. But yeah, this right now it's just like 360 horsepower at the wheels, full bolt-ons, and it's got forged internals as well. It's still a stock turbo right now, but I raced a R6 yesterday. You guys will see the outcome of that. Everyone on my Instagram actually said the Evo would beat the R6, so maybe you guys are right, maybe you're wrong, but we're gonna go re-race after the build is done and see the difference. Good night, baby. She looks really good sitting in here. You know what? I might as well show you guys pretty much everything I do in a day. So basically when I wake up in the morning, I have my cup of coffee and then I sell a lot of motorcycle parts on eBay. So I'll show you the inventory back here. I can't show you too much because there's stuff for my new brand back here, but all the stuff right here on these shelves is all for eBay stuff. It's all motorcycle parts. Usually in the morning, I'll just get everything packaged up so when I head into town later, I can bring it with me. I don't have to worry about packaging it and like being in a rush. Also, if anyone needs BC coils for FRS, BRZ, GT86, I have a brand new set, or pretty much a brand new set right there. And then I still have a Nardi steering wheel back there. Hit me up on the DMs on Instagram if you guys want either of those. So go on eBay. I only have 5 things to ship today. So I just come on here, see exactly what the part is, and then I'll run back here, grab the parts. That. A lot of you are always wondering what I do for work. This is exactly it. I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. I always have, pretty much. I had a job at Napa for 2 months and I absolutely hated it. You work on your own time, make your own money. It's mainly I just can't stand people telling me what to do. I don't know. I feel like my whole family's like that. All entrepreneurs at heart. The only shitty thing about selling stuff on eBay is the return policy. People can return stuff for pretty much any reason, and usually you're the one who's covering shipping. So me as a seller, if someone wants to return something just because whatever, I'm losing shipping or losing money on shipping. You kind of get the hang of what everything goes in. So if it's under £1, it goes first class mail unless they pay extra for shipping. If you guys are enjoying this little lifestyle section right here, go down below, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know. If you guys don't enjoy it, I won't throw it in the future. But it's insane how many comments and questions I get about like what I do for work. If you're watching this video and you're at a time in your life, where you work for someone else and you can't stand it, it's not that good of money, find something you love to do and make a job out of it. That's pretty much what I'm doing with YouTube right now. I absolutely love making videos. It's super fun. Of course, I love working on cars. That's definitely my main passion, is working on cars. I'm really curious what all of you do for work. So go down in the comment section below and drop a comment. Let me know what you do for work. I'm really curious. Do you work at an auto body shop? Do you freaking do your own thing? Do your own grind? Are you a YouTuber? You just create content all day? McDonald's? Fast food? What is it? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what everyone does for work. It's always super interesting to me. We got everything packaged up, run in here, print off some labels. I have a really bad habit of checking my phone like a million times a day. These here are self-adhesive labels. So they just go on like that, stick right to the package. Dope. That is what I do for work. Really hope you guys enjoyed that little section. If you did, like I said earlier, go down below, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you enjoyed it. Thank you. Alright, so the Evo's all clean. I got it washed up and I got it in the shop. Ever since I put this Toma exhaust on the car, it is leaving so much black, like exhaust staining on the bumper. It's so freaking bad. I've never had it this bad on any car in the world. Look at how bad this is. Some of it came off when I washed the car. The only way this can really happen is if my car's running super rich. That was easy. All I'm using is some Meguiar's Ultimate Buffing Compound. I might as well throw it down in the description box below. So the first thing I always like to do, sorry if there's chocolate in my mouth, I was just eating chocolate chips. But the first thing I always like to do when I start working on the Evo, or I guess any car really in general, something major like this, is to pull off the front bumper. There's always so much stuff under the front bumper. I'm gonna have to pull it off anyway to get the intercooler swapped out. So I might as well just do it right now. And then we can get to installing the fuel system. Like I said earlier, injectors, fuel pump, both going in today. The reason I'm doing these first is I hate dealing with fuel. It's very stinky and it sprays everywhere, and I figured I would just get it out of the way. So that's why I'm doing that first. Fuel pump is in that box there. Injectors would be... So much stuff to put on this car. I really like that ETS on the intercooler. It looks pretty sick. What do you guys think? Is it too much or just enough? So I think the first thing I'm gonna do is install the injectors. If you look under there, the injectors are right there. There's 4 of them, 1 for each cylinder. I'm gonna start by just disconnecting all the wiring. So there's this clip here, pull that off. And I did get the plug and play adapters for the FIC injectors. Much more simple that way. If I can get anything disconnected, that would be nice. There we go. Okay, that should be enough to get the injectors out. From here, we're gonna have a few bolts. I'm gonna pull off this little line here. There's two 10 millimeter bolts there. That should pull the line off. And then to get the fuel rail off, looks like there's a bolt there, a bolt there. Is that it? I don't know. I'm gonna set the camera up and figure it out. So I got those 4 bolts pulled out that I just told you guys about. Now I'm gonna pull off this little valve cover breather just because it's kind of in the way. Pull off this line there. I'm actually gonna disconnect all of the wiring over here. Goes to the valve cover back there, and then what is this, the fuel pressure regulator plug-in? No, it's some sort of cam sensor right there. Up here is the power steering pump, and then back here should be some sort of cam sensor again. I just like to have everything out of the way. I like to make it super simple. In the long term, this will take more time, but at the same time, it's like super easy because you should get everything out of the way. Okay, I definitely need to get that bolt out, and maybe these 2 here. Pull more stuff off. All right, I have a feeling when I pull these injectors off, that fuel is gonna go everywhere. Let's hope not though. As you can see, that was super easy to get to these injectors. If I had to do it again, it'd probably take 5 minutes. So there's little clips on the back side. Make sure you're pulling the seal out as well if it doesn't come off with the injector. And a little bit of fuel did come out like I expected, but it wasn't nothing crazy. Set the injectors off to the side when you pull them out. They're all the same, 1 through 4, so you don't need to like label them or anything. But like I said, this is a freaking messy job, and it kind of hurts your cuts on your hands if you have any. I cannot tell you guys how freaking stoked I am to get started on this build. It's been a very long time coming. I've had that turbo kit for a few months now. So there's the old injectors right there. Got my new ones in this bag here. They already have seals on them, so I don't need those seals. I'm just gonna kind of clean these things up. See if I have some carb cleaner. Even if they're brand new and they've been sitting for a little bit, I would highly recommend cleaning them up. Make sure there's no dust, dirt, or grime. All right, we are ready to install the FSC 1100 injectors into the Evo. Now, after we do this, I don't think the car will even start. So you won't be able to drive it until you get a new base map on there or a tune, do something. If you don't have the ability to throw a base map on yourself, you're gonna have to trailer it to your tuner. But I do have my Tactrix cable with my laptop, so I can personally I can get a base map on there and just drive down to the tuner. So that's gonna work out perfectly. These injectors here, I don't think we're gonna be using those little clips. I guess we'll see when I get up on the fuel rail. But let's head over to the car and throw these things on. Let's hope we don't have any complications or issues when I go to put these on. So it's the same as the stock ones. We're just gonna slip them in here into the fuel rail first. It should be a pretty damn tight fit. Let's see if I can use these little clips. Oh, no, I got it. Dope. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, you can use the clips, guys. You can. Yeah, they just slip right on. There's a little cutout in the injector where it sits. Cool. So as you can see, we have the injectors on the rail. Those little clips are on there. That's a good angle right there. You can really see that clip on the injector. So now it's time to get the fuel rail back onto the intake manifold. I may have to flip these injectors around because all the wiring pigtails are hitting on the valve cover or the head. So yeah, let's try that. I'm gonna flip these, rotate these around. So the wiring's coming out this side now, toward the front of the car. All right, let's throw these 2 main bolts in for the fuel rail. All the injectors are in place. It looks like they're seated all the way. I'm just gonna get these bolts in to make sure they don't pop back out. You might want to press on each injector individually, really make sure they're seated all the way. Now let's run these wiring connectors to the top of the injector, or the fuel rail, something like that. Whew, all right. One of the harder things is done, I guess. It's a lot easier. I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's so much easier to do it on an Evo versus a Subaru. I've done it on my old STI, and it's way easier to do it on this Evo. It takes like half the time. So huge props on Mitsubishi for making that hella easy. Only thing we have left to do to wrap up this injector install, connect all the wiring. That's about it. Should I do this now or after? I want to make sure, whoa, hold up, you guys just fell. I want to make sure none of those seals are leaking, make sure all the O-rings are seated all the way, no tears or anything. And how you do that is you just prime the fuel system. I might do that after I get the fuel pump in, just so I can check both at once. I'll probably just do that. Right now, let's get everything wrapped up. Get all the clips back where they should be on the holders, and we'll be done with the injector install. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be. The total time start to finish to install these injectors took me exactly 1 hour. That is hardly nothing compared to what it took me on a Subaru, especially filming everything, explaining it, and being my first time. An hour, that's it. Super easy to do. Let's move on to the fuel pump. Open the back door, back seat pulls up on either side. Just stick your hand under it and rip up on it really hard, like that, and it should pop out. Wow, that's really dirty. Okay, fuel pump will be on the driver's side, so it's under this plate right here. You can either use a screwdriver or just use your fingers and pull up on it. There's like some silicone holding it on. What I think I'm gonna do right now is kind of hose all that dirt off so it doesn't drop down into the tank. Oh yeah, that'll clean up perfectly. Now I would recommend drying it up with either some towels, or I'm just gonna grab compressed air. All right, we are ready to remove the fuel pump hanger. So there's, what is that, 6 screws or 6 nuts are on the outside, all 8 millimeters. Before that, we got to disconnect some wiring. There's a plug in here. It's just a typical wiring plug in. Decompress the clip and it'll pop off. Now this one here has 2 tabs on each side. Just kind of press those off to the side like that, and it'll pop out of there, just like so. Okay, so there's this one right here with the green clip. This is gonna be really hard to do with one hand, but basically this clip will slide off. You have to expand the tabs on either side. All right, now we can pull the green clip off. It'll slide up like that, and then the fuel line will come right off. Oh, fuck. Just sprayed some fuel in my interior. That'll be fun to get out. Okay. As you can see, there's gonna be some gas. Don't do what I just did. I would highly recommend laying towels down. Next up, we have this fuel line. So there's just like a little spring clamp on there. Grab some pliers and compress that clip or the clamp, slide it back, and then you can get the hose off. Thankfully, no gas came out of that one. Okay, next up, there's 6 nuts are on the outside perimeter of the fuel pump hanger. I'm about to get really full of gas, so I'm not about to hold the camera, but we're gonna start pulling everything out. So that plate comes off. Now this whole fuel pump hanger has to come out of here. I don't know if you guys can see, but when you get it out this far, there is a fuel line right here you're gonna have to take off. So same thing, spring clamp, and then that hose will just slip on off there. The whole thing comes out. Make sure you pull this out without getting fuel everywhere. Okay, the fuel pump came out without too many issues, or the fuel pump hanger. Now it's time to get the fuel pump off the hanger, get the new pump on. Now this is something I'm still kind of unsure on. I know with the Walbro 450, you have to modify it's like a return port on the fuel pump hanger. This whole thing right here is called the hanger. You have to modify the return port. You got to drill it out a little bit with the drill bit. I'm still waiting on my tuner to get back to me whether or not I have to with this pump. So I'm just gonna pull this apart, and then I guess I'll figure it out as soon as they email me back. So first things first, compress that, and there's a little clip on here that you're gonna want to use like a needle nose pliers or a flathead screwdriver or something on. This little clip right here. Now this wiring plug-in up top, go ahead and disconnect that. And as well as this one right here. Now there's a few tabs. I believe there's only 2 tabs. One right there and one up in here. So simply pop those out with whatever tool you have. Is there another one somewhere? Oh yeah, there's one right here as well. Okay, so the fuel pump will be in here. Disconnect that black plug-in up top, and now come to the bottom. There's this fuel filter right here. There's a few tabs. Pliers probably aren't the best thing for this. Okay, so that'll get the whole fuel pump out of there. Remove this filter, set it off to the side. We're still gonna need that filter. And then take our new fuel pump. So I know other brands of pumps come with new seals. Mine did not come with new seals. So we are just going to use the old ones. This little white thing right here, pop that off, slide it on the new one right there. This is just a straight up direct replacement. We shouldn't have to modify anything at all. Gotta get this pump filter back on here. And now this is gonna go back up into here. That assembly's done. We're gonna have to get it back up in this hanger. This wiring plug-in clips back in like that. All we gotta do now, connect some wiring and throw the whole assembly back together. Now you can compress it. And get this inky dinky little clip back on. Might be kind of a pain in the ass. That's done. 100% ready to go, ready to put back on the car. So I waited a few hours waiting for English to email me back, and they never did. So I actually called them. Is there a bird in my shop again? I called them and they said I don't have to modify the fuel pump hanger. So just so you guys know, with a 330 LPH fuel pump, you don't need to modify the fuel. It's like the return port. You do not have to do that on these with this fuel pump here. So we are ready to throw this pump back in the car. I always have this issue of talking really fast. I need to stop that. I always talk so fast. I did that on the phone call with English, and the dude he had like no idea what I was saying, and he's being a straight up dick about it once again. That's my bad. Anyways, let's get this fuel pump installed. It should be relatively easy to do. Come on, get in there. It's kind of like spring loaded. I don't know if you guys remember that when we had the pump out, the whole thing's spring loaded. Push down on it and get a few nuts on. That clips there. And now we can get the rest of the nuts on. The fuel pump install is done, ready to go. The last thing to check is make sure we don't have any leaks. I wouldn't recommend trying to start it at home yourself. Whenever you swap injectors or pretty much anything to do with fuel at all, you need to get it retuned 100%, no matter what. No questions asked. But I'm just curious, so I think I'm gonna try to start it. I don't hear that fuel pump turning on at all. What am I doing wrong? Did I forget to plug in wiring or something? That's plugged in. Everything's plugged in. I hope I didn't forget something inside the hanger. So it may be different on this Evo. I don't know if the fuel pump turns on right now when the car's not running, but it's still starting. It's running insanely rich though. My AFRs are just stuck at 10, so I'm not gonna run it anymore. I think we should be good to go. The fuel pump, it must be working because my car's starting, unless there's still just enough fuel. Shut up. Unless there's still just enough fuel in the fuel rail and the fuel lines and all that. We're pretty much done with this install. Let's get this little cover back on. Hold down on that for a second. As soon as you get that cover back on, throw the rear seat in and you're done with your fuel system. I don't know if I really talked about it much in this video, but I'm shooting for 500 horsepower with the wheels on pump gas. This fuel system should do the trick. It was all recommended to me by English Racing. All right, my friends, that is gonna wrap up today's video. Like I said earlier, the pump I just put in and the injectors I just put in, I'll throw down in the description box below if you guys wanna go pick them up. If you have any questions at all, drop them down in the comment section below. I will be more than willing to help you guys out. I always love helping you guys out, honestly. That's why I make these videos. So yeah, super sick day. Very productive. So I just got done watching Evan Shank's video as like his wife's reaction of his Evo, which put down 480 horse. And let me tell you, that has got me so freaking pumped and so excited to get this car done. Oh my gosh. Seeing like his wife's reaction, just seeing his reaction as he's driving his car, hearing it, all that good stuff. It's a pretty similar build, I guess. His turbo is a little smaller. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. Evan Shanks on YouTube. He's got a huge following, so I'm sure you already know who he is. But I'll throw it up in the top right corner up there. I'm gonna wrap up this video right here. Really, really, really hope you guys enjoyed it. It was super fun, super productive day. So I will see you tomorrow when we start throwing the turbo kit on the car. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button right up in the top right hand corner. See you tomorrow.